Hey y'all, thanks for viewing the In Between series, the show where young folks discuss the space between their dreams and their reality. We're so excited. This is our very first episode. I have some extremely dope people with us. So to my left is B. Nikki.
How y'all doing?
We have Frankie.
What's up, y'all?
To my right is Lo,
What's good?
Nayanel,
Hey.
and Deja.
Hello.
So today we're going to be talking about where we are in life and what's happening and how we're getting through it, how we're processing it, and where we plan on going. So what's going on with y'all?
Well, right now I'm currently a music artist, choir director, and photography videographer.
that's
So doing a lot. It's kind of balancing that musical world with the artistic world. So I'm just trying to, grow my own music while working with choirs that I direct both in churches and at BCU, and trying to grow my business and take it to the next level.
Okay. Busy
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I think we all can attest to like trying to grow our business.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
like a lot of us are like fresh out of college. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
All of us, right? Pretty much. Like
Yeah.
I'm 1
Something
year
like
out.
that.
something like that.
He's like, come
Go.
Yeah, so I get you, Naya,
Yeah.
like trying to grow a business. I personally have a job, trying to do working full time, trying to do grad school, and still maintaining my creativity. That can be kind of
I'm kind of with you,
Yeah.
just balancing the professional 9 to 5, but also your creative endeavors and making sure you're giving life to both of those things.
yes, it's hard, y'all. It's really
Same.
Yeah, I feel the same.
bills are real. Bills do exist, whether we want them to or not.
I know.
Exactly.
Like, bills don't stop.
Yeah, same. I'm definitely in the same boat. I worked a 9 to 5 life too. I'm currently working as a social media coordinator for a national nonprofit, awesome organization. But in addition to that, I'm also running my own brand, Naturally Be Nikki.
Not to know her.
Yeah.
Dope.
Know her.
I got my own website, naturallybenikki.com, and it revolves around entertainment, news, and pop culture commentary. And that's where my passion lies. So I'm with y'all. Like, I'm just looking to take that to the next level, whether, I'm working for a big major media brand or, making my brand,
What you do.
doing it
Yeah,
myself,
yeah.
either way. So that's where I'm at.
I think it's cool, Nikki, because I see like the connection between like your current job and like what you want to do in your life. Do y'all feel like there's a connection from your current space now and like what you do? Or
For me, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because I am doing what I want to do. Ultimately, I'm in, I guess you would say, beginning stages, learning stages, growing transitional phases of it.
And what
I
is
was,
it?
I was going to go last because I don't work. I don't have a job.
Okay.
Your business is a job.
It is. You get
Okay, well, I don't have a conventional job.
Yeah.
I have
You know
my
what
own-
you do.
You don't have
so-
a traditional
You
job.
get
I freelance.
You get paid.
I write my own
Yeah.
checks. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. I run a platform called Everyday Dope Life. And it started off as just an idea from blogging because that's what I did in college. I blogged and I freelanced with that, so I didn't have to work. But it got me to a point where I could create my own platform because now I have a network and an audience and things like that. So I create content. I have a festival we're putting together at the end of the
When is
month.
it?
It's called EDF Fest. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a hip hop carnival.
What day is it?
757. August 27th.
Oh,
Norfolk, the 757?
757.
I'm in there. That's dope, Naya. So what does it take to get there? Because we're still, I think, for myself personally, I'm still in the process of like, how much energy do I have? Like figuring that out, and also trying to figure out, like, am I being responsible? Am I, like taking care of responsibilities still?
There's definitely no
So,
blueprint. There's no
It's
blueprint.
not.
You have to make your mistakes. You have to learn. You have to
Yeah.
go through all these things. We were just talking about that off camera. So you can have that story to tell and things to go off of what you're doing later.
Yeah.
Working what you guys are doing, you have to do that. Like I said, bills are real. They exist.
Student loans,
Me personally,
salary.
I have a budget. I stick to my budget.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm able to go outside of it and do travel. I like to travel a lot. So
Yeah.
that's my vice with what I'm trying to do and maintaining my real life as well. But I just think it kind of goes into how you set things up for yourself. The
Okay.
responsibility, like you said, that's very important. Knowing, what you have to do, what you want to do, and the balance in between that. Being a creative, though, through all of this, it's trial and error. Honestly, it's
It is.
really there's no blueprint to
It
it.
is.
How much you want it, how much you're willing to put in for it. You know, it's all
Yeah.
about that work. Put in that work.
Yeah. So are you up all night? Like, where do you find the time?
When I first started, I was definitely
That's
losing
right.
a lot of sleep,
Yeah.
not sleeping.
Y'all
Now,
music
yes.
What is sleep? Honestly, what is sleep?
First of all, in college period, what is sleep?
Exactly.
And then we
I thought
then we
that
started-
once I graduated that I was gonna maybe possibly get just a little bit more, but that's just not. That's not how my
The
personal.
gag is, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
I also thought for some strange reason that deadlines were like, it just disappeared after college.
Nah, nope.
When I get
Y'all
that
must
email
get a
at
little
work
exactly.
and they
You
be like,
need such and such,
hard
such and such,
deadline,
blah.
need this now.
It's just the
like,
beginning.
And you have
Exactly.
to set deadlines for yourself.
Yeah,
I think that's
true.
important.
That's right.
Like when other people assign it for you, it's easy because you're like, okay, they're expecting this.
Yeah.
Somebody in particular is looking forward to
Yeah.
whatever I'm producing. But when it's your own schedule and your own creative passions, like
Yeah.
you have to say, I want to get this out by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Why am I not where I said I was
Yeah.
gonna be? So it's
And
more
being
on
a
you.
creative, discipline is so
Yeah.
important.
How do-
You have to set those deadlines for yourself. Absolutely.
That's very true. And when people start knowing you for that, there's like this expectation, like, you know, though, when you gonna be out? Like, I ain't see you out, you know, doing your thing lately. You know what I mean? Like, do you get that?
Didn't
Oh,
you say that you had some
Right.
drama?
I know.
Like,
has that ever happened to you?
Well, for me, I don't know. It's always a constant motion, so things are always
Okay.
dropping. So we always
You're at that
work.
point.
Yeah, putting dates on the calendar. It's getting to the point where it's like years out now.
Okay.
So those are more the conversations that I'm having now
Got
versus when we were, you know, now and the point that we're at now is when we started. It's pretty much like we just want to do the work, keep our head down, do the work. And now what my camp is doing, what my fam is doing, is like now we're like finally picking our heads up.
Yeah.
Because people are actually paying attention now, and they
what-
see
what
that
y'all
we're working,
out
and
here
they're
doing?
waiting on products. So for the past, we're coming up on 2 years of everything now. So we just been fine tuning the product and packaging it, and make sure everything is efficient, is
Yeah.
disciplined, and everything makes sense, and everything
What's the
connects.
product?
Yeah. What you
Well,
putting
it's,
out there?
it's a couple things. So
It's a couple things.
we got Collect Worldwide. That's we have Collect Worldwide. And we have Collect Saturday. So Collect is pretty much like a lifestyle entity brand that you can just mold. It's pretty much a mantra. Like you collect on everything. Everybody has something they want to do.
Gotcha.
And when we started out, our tagline was sacrifice, build, collect. So it's pretty much sacrificing what has to be sacrificed. You know,
Yeah.
time away, time to yourself.
Yeah.
And building what you believe has to get done,
Yeah.
and then collecting on what you started back then. So that's what
Gotcha.
that is. So
I like that word sacrifice because
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what needs to be sacrificed, who needs to be sacrificed. Like, I don't, you know, that's also a constant struggle. Because I mean, of course, I'm happy. I'm not saying like that's obvious, but I am happy with where I am in life. You know, just thinking about where I could be and where honestly I was most likely to be,
Yeah.
and I'm not. So you know, thank
It's
God.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
good.
I'm working up to
You see what I'm
something.
saying?
You know, but everyone has dreams and everyone has something that they want to accomplish and they set out for themselves. So how do you know like when you're sacrificing what needs to be sacrificing or when you're sacrificing too much for yourself?
I think that for me personally, it's kind of like how much passion do you have for what you're doing, and let that drive you to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Because for me, like I went to VCU, right? But when I came into VCU, I was in forensic biology. And that's because it was a comfort thing. My mom worked at university, you know,
Yeah.
I was around science all my life. But I had a passion for music, but it was that kind of like, I need to be secure, I need money, I need stuff like that. And I went 3.5 years in school doing something that didn't make me happy. And that constant struggle I had was just like, you know, I'm not happy, but it'll be worth it when I get this check or whatever. And I became so unhappy that the money didn't matter to me anymore. It was about the quality of my life that I was going to be living.
Yes.
So my passion for what I wanted outweighed the financial gain of something that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna change my major. And I changed it my senior year. And you know, people said I was crazy, like, you know, you've been to school for all that money and all that kind of stuff. But when I looked at the longevity of it and in the course of my life, in the grand scheme of life, you know, those 3.5 years I spent was a lesson for me learning where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I'm gonna change my major, I'm gonna be a music educator, I'm gonna do this music thing, and I have not looked back since.
Yeah.
And the opportunities that I've been afforded because I decided to just take that leap of faith Because sometimes it's really a leap of faith. You don't have that solid answer. This is gonna work out, but you know that's what faith is. And when you have faith, you also can't have fear. Faith and fear can't live in the same space.
Yes.
So when I took that leap of faith,
Good old girl.
God worked it out. And everything that I've done from then has been enhanced because that drive that I had for what I wanted to do was able to push me past, you know, the struggles, push me past the late nights where you don't know how you're going to pay your bills, you know, you don't know what's going on, or things didn't work out the way you thought they were. It's that faith and like that passion about what you're doing is going to push you to make those things happen. Because if you really want to do something, honestly, you're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works.
We were
To
talking about
answer
that.
your question, sorry.
No, go ahead. David.
For like the sacrifices, I think personally, like the way you can determine it is if you feel like you're betraying yourself.
Okay.
So yes, you have to sacrifice. Yes, you have to stay up late. Yes, you have to work hard to attain what you want. But the moment where you feel like you're betraying yourself, you're not living in your truth, then that's not for you.
Yeah.
That's not your purpose. There's another route. There's another way. So
Yeah.
I
that's
also
what-
think about
that's
like being uncomfortable, being drained. You know,
Different.
like, when I feel like this is completely draining me, then
Yeah.
clearly, like you said, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Something's not right with this situation.
Yeah.
I need to go back and evaluate what I'm doing. But if I'm uncomfortable, that's
That's
taking
growth.
that leap of
Yeah.
faith,
Yeah.
the other side of fear. That's-
Uncomfortability will push you.
It will.
You know, and I think that when you're doing something and when you're trying to grow, you can't always grow. You can't grow in a space of comfort. You have to be uncomfortable because that is going to push you to, you know, being able to be the best you can be. So I would say if you find yourself being too comfortable, you might need to check yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
And push yourself further.
Yeah.
So
Check the people around you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
Your circle.
changing your circle, change it to be around people who push you, people who understand your light and don't try to diminish it, people that see your vision, but they don't have to see it as perfect as you. But if I come up, which I did, if I be like, y'all, I'm thinking of this dope thing and have it, and I can clearly see it, it can clearly happen
gonna
because we're
happen.
here today. You
I even
know?
like when people don't like it and they're like, that
Exactly,
sounds great.
that was
Thank you.
People be
Yes,
honest.
that,
Wow,
that,
that came out dope, blah, blah, blah.
that kind of pushes you
I love
harder
that.
sometimes
People
too.
got-
Yeah.
If all you have is yes men and yes women in your circle, like you're not gonna grow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great. And the idea is trash.
Yeah.
And they know it's trash, but they want to be stand your good side. No, them nothing me. You're hurting me by
Yeah.
not being honest with me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Or you make it so good that even if they thought it was trash, like the way you pulled it off. I'm just talking about even the smaller stuff.
Yeah.
My hairstyles, my sister is always like, don't do it. Like, that's not good. I'm
My
like,
sister.
you just wait.
But let me show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
And Sarge, I was gonna say, like, since I got y'all with me, I wanted to throw this out there. I feel like right now I'm in a comfortable or an comfortable position right now. So when
I mean, like
belong
in here?
yeah,
Oh,
in
okay.
terms of like my life right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mentioned, you know, I'm working full time. You know, the 9 to 5 life, and then I'm running my own brand. You know, as soon as I get home, so I get get home around 5:30. It's a whole nother job. It's the second job, and you know, and really diving into my passion. So that's what kind of it's comfortable in terms of the full time. I had that consistent salary. I had that, you know, I had that stability.
Yes.
But it's uncomfortable in the fact that, you know, I really would love to focus on my passion full time
Yeah.
and really dedicate all my energy that I'm pouring into somebody else's vision
Yes.
into mine.
Yeah.
So like while I got y'all here, like I wanted to run it by y'all. What do y'all think in terms of people who are on the fence, like they're in that comfortable, uncomfortable situation? Because honestly, y'all, I personally feel that everybody.
I'm listening to what she's saying. No, I'm
Because
just,
I feel that everybody is
what's
not
so
meant to be
thinking?
there.
I think we take into account that we're super young. You know, we're
Yeah.
really young,
Yeah.
and these are the times that you should be feeling like this and having these type of thoughts and going back and forth with yourself and figure out what you're gonna do next.
Okay.
You have that job
Yeah, okay.
because
Low over here. Low over here, like.
we can't be a part of that conversation because we work for ourselves. As far as I always
But I
tell
have
people,
worked
like,
for someone, and
Yeah.
I recall I just tried to have a little job for like literally a month. I had a job for a month. I worked at H&M and I quit. I couldn't do it
Yeah.
because I'm not used to that lifestyle
Yeah.
anymore. But I had plans. That's why I got that job to begin with. I had plans for things I want to do in the future. So now I got to figure that part out.
Yeah.
But
I
you're
think it's
you're
time.
like really invested into that.
Yeah.
These are the things that's going to help the plans that you have for the future and keep you stable.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not a
I
bad
think
thing.
it's timing. I think everything has a season.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
just because you do that now, that
That's
doesn't mean
true.
you're gonna do that
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
And like she said, you can have a goal, you can have a plan. Like I graduated with 2 degrees, one in business management, one in civil engineering. I did not work in that. I worked for a stylist in LA. So I was like, I'm stressed. That's not going to fulfill me right now. That's always going to be there. The option is always there. Like, you don't have to follow any plan that
There is
anyone
no
else
plan.
has set for you. So if you want to leave and try your own thing for a year, it doesn't work out, you can get another job. You can go back. It's not the end of the world.
That's the thing with this
That's-
social
yes.
media world we're living in, 'cause it makes you feel like you should be somewhere else because someone else that you know you look up to is in that place. But
Yeah.
your journey and your path is your own. Like
Yeah,
I can't
right.
stress that enough.
And you gotta and I can relate to that in a sense now because I don't work for work for anybody. I don't have a 9 to 5 right now. I used to work at a school. I was going to regular school. I love my job. The core program the arts kind of bar has fallen off, and I wasn't able to continue my job because there wasn't the funds, there wasn't the student numbers. So I was like in a position where I wasn't gonna have a job.
Yeah.
But honestly, exactly. That's a legit official job. But
Yeah.
I think that what I learned also is that sometimes you gotta pay attention to the signs that are happening around you.
Yeah.
You know, if you are a faith person, or even if you're just like an energy or spiritual person, you know, sometimes things happen to bring your attention to what you should be doing. And I remember thinking that, you know, I wanted to work with myself. I wanted to, you know, work with people, be a vocal coach, you know, make my own music, take my business and travel with my photography and videography. I saw that happening for me, but you know, I wasn't saying I was tied down to certain opportunities I couldn't do because of the job that I had. And you know, but I was like, I'm gonna stick it out, this was consistent money, and then it turned out that, you know, I didn't have that job. But when I found out that news, I wasn't sad because to me that was confirmation that like this is your time.
Yeah.
God was like, oh, you've been struggling. Now here's your chance. What you gonna do with it? So I think that, you know, if you are kind of going back in between, you know, pray about it, think about it, and if you get a feeling or a sign or opportunity, don't question it. You know, if something comes up, you're like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna do it, and just trust that happened for a reason, that everything will work out. Make sure you got a plan though. Don't just, you know, jump into
Make a
something.
plan and just take the jump. So that like you're smart, you have your resume filled out. Like if you do your own thing for 6 months, it doesn't work, you can get another job.
And see, that's what I was getting at too, because I think freelancing and being an entrepreneur, realistically, I don't think it's for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not easy.
Yeah.
So I definitely did want to explore with y'all like what it takes to, you know, successfully, you know, I know we're still in that in-between phase, but really pinpointing what it takes to do it, because it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody says, you know, work for yourself.
Yeah, no,
But it's
it's
easy to
not.
say it done.
So my question,
You
My
have
question
to
for
be
y'all.
okay with failing.
my question for y'all. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Oh,
to
you good?
interrupt
Listen,
you. So before we read our letter from one of our viewers, my question for y'all is: what is one thing in one word, something that you are willing to sacrifice for your vision, for your dream? In one word, and I'm gonna start with Frankie.
That takes thought.
Wow.
One word.
You caught me here.
One adjective.
One adjective.
One-
One, I think that.
One noun. A
I
person.
think that I'm willing to sacrifice. I know we talked about it before. Just comfortability. I think
Comfortability,
for
okay.
me, yeah, because I get so caught up in like things that are comfortable for me, but I know that going to go where I want to go, that I'm really gonna have to take myself out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
and I think that that's one thing that I have to be willing to sacrifice, and I will.
Okay.
I will be.
Be Nikki.
Oh, goodness.
In one word.
I would have to say comfortability as well.
Okay. Something that I can sacrifice. I would have to say is time. Slow.
I would have to say myself for real.
He's all in.
No, I'm all in. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not playing no games.
Good.
Like,
Is that real?
I'm serious. All right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
No.
I would say my youth. I'm willing to sacrifice my youth.
Oh, wow. Okay. David.
I would say security.
Okay. Well, we have someone who wants wants a little opinion from us. So they sent in this letter, and it is subject in between unemployed and desperate. Yes.
Oh no. Maybe
Some of us
I'm
ain't gonna say it, but we on the brink of it right
We
now.
all
low key. This may be my letter.
Yeah, she says, and I'm not going to disclose any names. Hey y'all, I just recently graduated in May, and unfortunately I'm still looking for a full-time job. I've recently come up with an unpaid internship for 5 months with a very successful company in my field, but the only problem is it's unpaid. Like, that wouldn't be an issue if it wasn't so far from where I live. I would need to take the train and from 4 days a week, and the train pass is $300 to $400. Okay, another yikes. If I take this internship, I need to find a weekend job that pays for me enough to cover for the month-to-month train pass. I mean, I know a job is necessary, but damn, do I have to work myself like a dog in return for the experience? I'm just stuck. I know it's my future, but I feel uncomfortable spending so much money on an internship that may not even offer a full-time position once it's over. Should I just go for it? Thanks for your help.
You need to ask her the same question you just asked us.
What
What
is
is
she
she
gonna
gonna
sacrifice?
sacrifice?
Because it sounds like she's gonna have to sacrifice her money and definitely her time because she's.
I think so. I think she should do it. She has no kids. Well,
Okay.
I'm assuming here. I'm assuming.
She ain't
I'm assuming
answering.
she's
Yeah.
unmarried. I'm assuming she has no kids. So if you're gonna take the risk, you might as well take it now. I mean, like I just shared, that's something I did. I worked
Yeah.
for Stylist and I worked at J. Crew because that's something I wanted to do. I knew sometimes once you fall into a routine, once you experience having more money, it's hard to leave that
Yes.
to follow your
That
passion.
security.
Exactly. And
And
keeping up that
stability.
lifestyle, whatever. But if you're gonna take a risk and a chance, you should do when you're young.
Yeah.
While you
Yes,
have
it's
time.
time.
But so you say you would risk it all? So should she risk it all?
Honestly, you can't replace experience. Honestly, and 5 months can fly by like
That's
that.
true.
So
In the grand
That's
scheme of
like-
things,
that's
that's
like-
that's-
that's-
yeah,
that's
that's
about-
not
so-
bad. So if it doesn't work out, she can literally.
And I'll say go into it, and I wouldn't say go into it thinking you could stick with the company. I say go into it and take everything you can. You never know who you can meet.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
debate was actually just held on social media between a mass of real journalists and
Yeah.
people that write for these platforms. Unpaid internships versus the paid ones, and should you take them? And I didn't engage in that because that was a real massive conversation. But a lot of people do believe that you should, and these are people that did that, got through the
Yeah.
process, and work for these companies that we're interested
Yeah.
in right now. Experience is what you're looking for.
I'm conflicted because I do feel like unpaid internships are for the privileged. I don't believe low income people, like underrepresented
can't
people were
afford
thought
it,
of.
realistically.
Yeah, like it's hard.
It's
to,
already hard, exactly.
It's already hard to support yourself and try to fend for yourself.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna spend most of your time here and you're not getting any money for it.
Right.
But I mean, I guess it could pay off in the future. But I do think sometimes it's not worth it. In her case, if it's the job that if it's the career and it's a really major company that she really believes can set her up for the future, I mean, you don't need all the certainty, but you just need to know that you're not in it just to be put it on your resume and it never gets seen.
Yeah.
It makes me think about the movie The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
You have to
That
get
man
to
was
that. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
And
You got to
it's
be
not
willing
that
to
you have
that.
a time limit on it. So
Yeah.
it's not just work for us unpaid,
Yeah.
maybe we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So she has to hustle within those
Yeah.
5 months
And make
Yeah.
herself
to
work
make sure
for it.
she's known
Yeah.
and has something at the end to make
She gotta
all
hustle.
that worth it.
And that's what stuck out most to me was a very successful company in my field. So
Okay.
it sounds like this
Yeah.
this company
She
is
put
for- this
emphasis
could
on
be
it. You have it
this
on
could be
the
a potentially life changing opportunity.
And
So
I would-
you gotta grind it out. If I
ask
was
them.
her, I would take
And
it.
ask
I
them
would
After
take
this
it.
can I
time,
grow?
Yeah,
Can I grow from this?
You never know.
Yeah.
I
People don't
think
get what they
that.
want because they don't
Ask,
ask for
ask,
paid
ask,
If I
ask,
just
ask
say
for
you
more
have
money.
one because you have
Something.
some. That's what about it. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just
Nothing about it.
that's what you said. You have because you have
And that's
some.
who said that.
You never know.
Who said that? Everybody said that.
Right. But I think that just
Real though.
for me personally, I think we talk about how planning is everything and having a plan.
Yeah. That
So
sounds like a plan.
If it's a good opportunity and you have the time, you young and you have something. She said it was her dad's temp company.
Well, no, this
That's
one,
the other option.
You know what I'm saying? The other option is her dad's.
So that's comfortable.
Exactly.
I feel like
So
playing it safe.
that will work.
Yeah.
That will always, maybe not always be there, but that's something that
There's another
you'll
safety
have.
net. Yeah.
So this opportunity may or may not come up again. If you say no now, not saying that it won't come up, but taking that leap of faith and having people in your corner. Like if you have the support of your dad and your family, let them know, hey, I really want to do these things, but this is what it's going to take. I'm gonna grind it out. Can you help me? I think a lot of people get so prideful that they don't want to ask for help. And you
Yeah,
never
right.
know who can
That's
help you out. So don't squander your dreams when you have the resources and people to help you
Okay.
achieve them. So
Okay, well, I think, girl, go for it.
do it.
Yes.
Let's
Take that
do it.
shot.
Do what you gotta do. Well, that was the end of this conversation. I want to thank everyone that is
Thank you.
at
Y'all know.
this table today. Yes, it was get the grind, sacrifice what you want to sacrifice to get where you gotta go.
Okay.
Thank
Build
you
and
for
collect.
build and collect.
Yeah.
Give it, like my man Lo said, give it your all.
Give it
He's
your
willing
all.
to give it his all.